All right, this video is going to walk you through how to do reflections. In the first reflection, it asks you to reflect across the x-axis. Now, if you're going to do that kind of physically on the picture, if there was a mirror here, you just ask yourself, how far is this point from the mirror? Well, it's 1, 2, 3 units away. Then if you're going to find the new location of point A, then do the same thing on the opposite side. So 1, 2, 3, and there's your point A. So the coordinate then you end up getting is -4, 3. Now, you can also come up with this coordinate without even drawing the picture and counting squares. You can just know that if my coordinate is at -4, -3, and it says reflect over the x-axis, you change the y-coordinate number, like it says right here. So if it says -4, -3, we just change this number to a +3, and that's what it becomes there. Now, it might also ask you to reflect in your coordinate across the y-axis. That's your up and down line of the coordinate system also. And if you were to count this out, you'd say, well, that's -4, -3. That's 4 units on this side of the line. So we have to go 4 units on the opposite side of that line. If you do that, you'll end up right here. And that coordinate then becomes +4, -3. Now, notice the only thing that changes. You had -4, -3. The -3s stay the same, but the 4s change the sign. So when you see that, for your new A prime, that means then all you have to do is, if it says reflect across the y-axis, you switch the x value, which was originally a -4, now it becomes a +4. And lastly, we got to do this one here for diagonal line y equals x. If you have a point right here, point A at -5, -2, if that's where that coordinate is, if you're going to count that, you could also count it and say, well, how far is that point to the diagonal line? It's 1 full diagonal and then a half. So if I'm going to do that same thing on the other side, I go my half first and then a full diagonal. That'll put you right there for your reflected line, or for reflected dot across the line y equals x. Now this coordinate right here is going to be at -2, -5. You can count it out, 2 over, 5 down. Now the other way you can get to the same coordinate without even having to draw it out and see it move physically for how many diagonals it is to the dotted line is simply just take the numbers that are there originally and just turn them around, reverse the order. Notice that we do not change the signs. They stay the same, but you just reverse the order it's written, and that becomes your new coordinate point A prime. Now, one last thing to note. To go back to reflections, you switch the order, but you keep the signs. See that? That's how you do reflections. So to recap real quick, if it says X, you change the Y. If it says Y, to reflect across the Y, then you switch the X. If it says reflect over the diagonal line, then reverse the order and keep the signs. That's how all these reflections work. Hopefully this information helps in making your pictures in your homework as well.